Shalom, party people, and welcome to the 12th C. Gloves on, seen safe. You may have heard that before. Well, a lot of people, for whatever reason, seem to think that the gloves are for the other person's benefit, not for their own. Well, here to break this to you. Those gloves are actually for your benefit. If it's wet and not yours, don't touch it. So, people seem to think, like, just in the food service industry, when they're wearing gloves and they're preparing food, that's keeping their germs off the food. Well, when you're responding to a situation and there's something that's wet and not yours, you're not keeping your germs out of that wound, because whatever made that wound was not sterile. So it's already got bacteria, it's already got foreign debris in there. So unless your hands are just absolutely filthy, those gloves are not going to keep that wound from getting any dirtier than it already is. Like, it's just going to get more stuff in it. The gloves are to keep you safe. Your skin is a very, very cool organ. It does a good job of keeping a lot of stuff out from your insides. But if there's any compromise, and a lot of times we don't even know that there are compromises in our skin until, like, you get something like, rubbing alcohol or lemon juice or vinegar or whatever on your hands, and then you find out you have a whole lot of cuts that you didn't know you had. So, in all of that, the gloves make a really, really good barrier, so that way when you are interacting with something that's wet and not yours, you're not getting other people's nasties into your system. On the spiritual side of things, think about this. Wherever we go, whatever we do, we should be putting on the whole armor of Yahweh or Elohim. Yeah, it's real cool. Let's wear body armor, all that cool stuff. Cool. The likelihood that you're going to need your real body armor, like your physical hard plates in real life, is basically zero. Like, you might need it, cool, but I train in mine. But your actual spiritual armor, the full armor of God, the helmet of salvation, the breastplate of righteousness, the waist belt of truth, shoes of peace, the shield of faith, the sword of the Spirit, all of those things, you should be using every single one of those every single day. I find it interesting that the peace is the shoes of peace. Wherever you go, you should be bringing peace with you. You should have peace for yourself, but you should also be injecting peace in wherever you're going. You're responding to that situation. You've got, a critical bleed going on. Chaos is contagious. So if you are able to inject peace, that stimulus pause response of putting those gloves on, takes just a minute, put those gloves on and respond. You're coming into a chaotic situation in life, just a normal everyday, and people are disheveled. If you are able to stimulus pause respond, inject peace into the situation, and the peace that surpasses all understanding that you are bringing with having the Ruach HaKodesh indwelled in you, like, that peace should be going everywhere with you. That waist belt of truth, what holds up your pants. If you've got a flat butt like me, that belt is vitally important. You walk around without a belt, unless you've got some serious elastic in that waistband, those pants are coming off. Having the waist belt of truth being what holds up, what foundations everything else that you go off of, what supports everything that you attach to that belt. Truth matters. If you are basing your foundation off of lies, it's not going to end well in the long term. Having a breastplate of righteousness, what guards your heart, what guards your lungs, the very things that are keeping you alive this second as you watch this video, what guards your innermost beings is righteousness. So many people seem to have forgotten that, myself included. Walking in his ways guards our heart, and a lot of people don't like to think about that. A lot of people like to think, oh, I'm good. I prayed some prayer one time and I'm good to go. Your obedience matters. Your heart attitude in your obedience really matters. See my video on circumcision if you want to go more on that. But righteousness is what guards the closest life-giving organs in our body. Interesting. That helmet of salvation, sometimes it may be translated deliverance, but what guards our very mind, what surrounds our head, is salvation, redemption, deliverance. Think about that. You wouldn't be here without that salvation. You wouldn't be here without that deliverance. He loves you, and there is nothing that you can do to change that. There is absolutely nothing that you can do to make it better or worse. It's not of your own power. What covers your head is that deliverance, is that righteousness, or not righteousness, because that's our breastplate. What guards our head is that salvation. What guards our head is that redemption. It matters. Find that interesting. The shield of faith. It's there to extinguish the fiery darts of the enemy. I find it fascinating, absolutely fascinating, that it is our faith, our belief, that gets us through the attacks of the enemy. That is powerful. It's not other things that, oh, hey, I've got XYZ, whatever, I've got the support of all of these people that get me through, and those may be good, but it is our belief that gets us through, our faith that gets us through the attacks of the enemies. Hold on tight. And the sword of the Spirit. You should be in your Bible every single day, and I am not the best at that either. I 100% understand, but you should be in your Bible every single day, and you should be ready to use it, because our war is not against flesh and blood. It is a huge, huge deal, and going into battle without your sword, not a good idea. In all of this, gloves on, seen safe. Armor on. Don't go alone. Take somebody with you. Go do hard things.